So I'm claiming that we've seen the biggest improvement in everyday data security on a typical Windows computer in the last 10 years. But if that's true, how come we're still here? Why do we still have to speak about security if we've improved so much? And the answer is, during those 10 years, the enemy also changed. Because in 2003, all the attacks were still being done by hobbyists who weren't really trying to gain anything with their attacks. And today, we can split the enemy into main three groups. Group number one, criminals who want to make money with their attacks. This has become the single largest source of attacks we see today. Group number two, hacktivists or movements that don't try to make money, but who try to send a message or protest with denial of service attacks or leaking data. And then we have governmental attacks, attacks where governments themselves are using malware or attacks for spying, espionage, and maybe in the future also to wage war. None of these groups were active 10 years ago, and today they are where all the attacks are coming from. And when we divide the money-making attacks further, we'll find some basic mechanisms that we keep finding, including banking Trojans trying to steal money from online banks, ransom Trojans that lock your system, demand a payment to open it, running botnets to launch denial of service attacks, stealing credit card numbers, and so on. A particularly large problem right now are these ransom Trojans, like the one called Crypto Locker, which is visualized right here. So what these do is that they will infect your system, and you get infected typically by just browsing the web with a machine which has an outdated plugin in the browser. And when you get infected, this Trojan will encrypt all the files, all the document files on your hard drive and in the local area network. Then it will pose you a ransom note that if you want to get your files back, you have to pay them $300 or 300 euros or 2 bitcoins. And when you pay them, they actually will decrypt your files and give your files back to you. So at least these guys are honest criminals. And you'll have 72 hours to do this. If you don't pay in 72 hours, you will lose your data. And there's no way to decrypt the data without paying them, because they use RSA 2048 encryption, which is, as far as we know, uncrackable. Solution, of course, is backups. But surprisingly, many parties affected by this one don't use backups.